Welcome to PR Like a Boss, the podcast where we talk all things media, comms and campaigns that make people go, ooh, they really nailed that. Or occasionally, what on earth were they thinking? I'm your host, Pat, and today's episode is juicy. We're diving into the world of beauty PR, the good, the bad, and the downright baffling. Because if you've ever been to a brand launch and thought, wait, why am I even here? This one is for you. My guest today is someone whose name you'll instantly recognise if you love beauty journalism. Jane Cunningham, the brilliant voice behind British beauty blogger, and more recently the author of a rather legendary Substack article titled The Worst Launch I Ever Did See and Why I Left in After 10 Minutes. Jane, welcome back to the show.
I can't believe I'm getting my second show in here. I'm very honoured.
I'm honoured to have you back, and I had to get you on quickly because it was timely and I really want to know the goss.
Everyone wants to know the goss. Well, to be honest, I've already said, but I mean, as you know, PR launches they can be lavish and awful. They can be sparing and brilliant. It just really, it's just on the day, what are you getting? But look,
I have to say, Jane, I'm pretty sure your Substack post had the entire PR community like clutching at their clipboards. So let's just start right there. What happened at that famous event and why did it go so wrong so fast?
Because it was a Mac launch. So I'll say that. I've subsequently learned there's an entirely new team in. So any chance of it being the Mac of old was already gone, but I didn't know that. So I went up into London because nobody lives in actual central London. So there was a sort of element of travel. And I travelled up there and I got to the place and it was on the 13th floor of this actually really amazing space. And it was all sort of very kind of cloak and daggers. You have to be shown through the security. Then you have to go somewhere else to sign in. Then you have to be taken up in a lift to the 13th floor of this place. So after all that, I got up there, I came out of the row of lifts, and there was just this room in front of me. And there were a few people at makeup stations, all sort of quite busy. But apart from that, it was really empty and a bit almost echoey, I would say.
Oh.
So anyway, so I thought, okay, fine. So I walked in and nobody spoke to me. Nobody looked up. Nobody acknowledged the fact that I'd come in to the room. So I thought, okay, I'll give it a minute or two. And I wandered around and I saw there was like a little coffee station. So I thought, right, the best I can do probably is just have a coffee. So going back to the new team point, I couldn't recognize anybody. There was nobody that I thought, oh, I know them. There was just nothing. It was just, faces I'd never seen before. And I was invisible anyway. I was sure I'd put on my invisibility cloak. So I went to the coffee stand where there was two people serving. And I said, oh, could I get a coffee? And they said, oh, we're only doing non-alcoholic coffee martinis. So if you want coffee, you'll have to go to a table and get one from the flask. And I just thought, oh, fuck this. A flask coffee, I'll just go and buy my own bloody coffee. So then I popped onto... Instagram and sort of I can't remember if it was a live or a story, I can't remember. But I know I was just going, right, I'm at this event. The whole thing is bizarre. Nobody has spoken to me. It's literally as though I'm not here. So I just thought, right, I'm leaving. So I left. And there was a girl, it's a good job I'm in my bedroom against my wardrobe. So there was a girl and she was like standing like this. And she said, are you leaving? And I went, yes. And so she peeled herself really reluctantly off the wall, pung me a lift, and then I got in it. And I just, oh my God, that was so atrocious. But Patricia, being serious, I had several people contact me after the event saying I went, got totally ignored, left and burst into tears.
Oh,
you know?
wow.
Yeah. Because when you go to events like that on your own, and nobody acknowledges you, nobody speaks to you, You feel like the intruder, you feel like the wrong person in the room, you feel so obvious for your lack of confidence, which disappeared at the door. You feel it's very, very upsetting. And I think about if I went to somebody's party and I couldn't find the host of the party and I didn't know anyone else, it's that same social situation anxiety that clicks in and makes you feel really awful. Several people got in touch to me say it was awful, I left. So it's not just me. It really isn't just me. So I did a couple of posts about it on Instagram. And I mean, I won't make assumptions that they've seen it, but if they have, nobody
So
got
they
in
haven't been in
touch or
touch?
anything like that.
Oh
No,
no.
nothing.
Oh,
Nothing.
come on.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you've painted such a vivid picture.
You will know how amazing all the Estee Lauder PR used to be. It was immaculate. It was perfect. And this was just so, so disappointing. What a shock. What an absolute shock that
I
it
mean,
could
look, as a
be
PR,
that
this
appalling.
absolutely blows my mind. I can't,
Yeah,
I can't
I know.
fathom my brain is just like, what? How did that happen? I mean, look, let's talk
Yeah.
about what we're missing from the basic, because this is basic PR playbook
Everything was
here.
missing.
Yeah. Look, in your
Everything.
mind, what are the absolute basics every PR team should get right when hosting an event?
Hello, let me take you over to the makeup stand. Let me show you what's going on. I don't need minding the entire time. I can manage perfectly well on my own. But hello, they couldn't even provide that. And it was just disgraceful. And the thing is, you do end up going to events where you feel very alien and as though you shouldn't be there. But in this instance, and that's generally because of the age, people sort of vaguely assume you're some influencer's mother, so they don't need to bother with you or whatever. Because I know it's true though, but it we all go to that sort of event. I've never been to one where so little effort, the apathy of it was just hideous. It was hideous. And I don't expect I'll be invited ever again. I will never go to another Mac event. I will never, ever do that again, because if that is the best they can muster, then I'll stay at home. I'll save my travel money. I'll save my dignity. I just won't go. But I mean, you had my friend Genevieve on, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Genevieve and I go to quite a few things together, mainly because, there's strength in numbers, really. So we've got each other if it's so awful. But the landscape has really changed. I've been to a few immaculate launches. I went to one hosted by Linda at Muse. Immaculate, absolutely immaculate. It was the best event that I can still say I'm still so glad I went. A week later, I'm still grateful to have been invited and glad that I went. But you do get these ones where nobody really knows who you are because they've just done a blanket send out and they're just like they're throwing mud at the wall and see which bits stick. And, that's who turns up. And somebody has invited me again to their stupid bloody press day. And I'm not going because the last time I went, it was so awful. And I was with Genevieve. I'm not going. I don't need, there's this, do you want me to pause and you can ask me a question? Because now you switched me on.
No, I mean, you can keep on going if you like. Like I said, it blows my mind. Like, I don't understand how something like that can happen. I mean, this is basic event management. There should be somebody at a greeting point with a checklist, ticking people off, possibly even have face sheets so they know who they are, face to a name. I would always have face sheets there. And if I couldn't remember somebody, I'd be like, oh, let's have a look. Oh, yeah, that's who they are. Hi, Jane. How are you? This is basic. A cloakroom.
Yeah.
Or a little hanging stand to hang people's coats. Somebody to accompany you, like you say, you don't need to be minded all the way through, but somebody to accompany you from one phase to the other, and then they can go back, and then it's literally they ferry people over. Like this is basic. I don't understand how something like this can really happen? Or do you know what? Maybe I can, because I just feel like talking to a lot of colleagues in the industry, people like yourself, I do feel that there's just a lack of training. There just doesn't seem to
Completely.
be that basic. It's fun, these are the foundations of just training, of how to have those, building relationships, talking to people, curating events. That's I can only put it down to that. It must be that, because what else could it be?
So I think we're dealing with a new generation of PRs who are predominantly marketing trained. It's not
Yeah,
really about the actual PR anymore. It's about the marketing. And they are two completely different beasts. And it always used to be
completely.
that if we go back to Estee Lauder, the good old days, you never got anywhere near marketing. Marketing never
Mm.
got anywhere near you. You with the PR was like firmly, the two shall never meet, and now it's just because I think that influencers or content creators are viewed as one homogenous blob. So in a
Mm.
way that, a big store like Selfridges doesn't need to relate to every single customer, it's the same for these launches, is in like, we'll just invite everybody who's on the old lists, and that will do. That will be fine, because they don't know any better. And then they think, oh, well, we'll get masses and masses of coverage. Well, Mac is getting the coverage. It's not what they wanted, but for sure they're getting it. It's a whole different mindset because of the marketing bias, and also because they just have a completely different mindset to old school PRs. And I'm not going to lay this in some ways, it's a much healthier mindset in that they don't want to work past 5 o'clock. They're paid to work till 5. That's when they're working to. They want to have a few days working from home. Thanks very much, because it's better for their mental health. They want to be able to take mental health days. In all sorts of ways, that's a really much healthier way to exist. But what they're missing by working from home a lot of the time is a lot of the things that they would just learn by osmosis within an office environment, like listening to older colleagues or more experienced colleagues, how they speak to people. They're not learning any of that. So they come to the party with a dead-eyed stare, going, they've done all the practical things they needed to do, but they can't execute anything in real life because they just have
Mm.
not had the experience or the practice.
Yeah, completely. And look, in your article, you said, and quite rightly, that this isn't personal, it's systematic. It's the
Yes.
influencer
Yeah.
conveyor belt syndrome.
Yeah.
You mentioned
Yeah.
feeling like just a number.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, how can brands strike the balance between creating scale? Because obviously that's what they are looking for. So, creating scale at events and making individual guests feel valued in this new world of mass influencer invites.
So really, I think you need to separate down your lists. You really do. You need to stop relying on old lists. You need to stop doing the chucking shit at the wall and hoping some of it sticks and people come. You just have to stop that. You just have to be a lot more tailored in your approach. Saying this, on the press day that I was talking to, that I will not go back to, because we were just, just like blank faces in a room, and somebody's
Mm.
ticking off the numbers and nothing else. It didn't matter what your name was or who you're writing for. But I went to a black and white press day. That was really pleasant. That was really nice. People spoke, people showed you things. They made themselves available to you, and obviously available. That was really nicely done. And I'm sure they possibly did a blanket, let's just get as many people through the door as we can. But they still managed to make it feel personal when you got there. That's not that
Yeah.
hard to do. But they actually, saying this, they have got a team that's not all the youngsters. They've got lots of different ages within their team, and very prepared to just, hi, I'm so and so, in a way that the other section probably aren't really prepared or feel confident enough to do.
Yeah. I also believe that events should feel like relationship building moments, because gone are the days where people take the time to have morning coffees or breakfasts or lunches or afternoon teas, or
Yeah, I'm, yeah,
that doesn't really happen anymore. So
no.
this is the chance for that relationship building to happen. And it's a
But
shame
they're not
that,
bothered about.
yeah. But this is it
They're
though.
not
Why,
bothered
why, why
about
are
the
they not
relationship.
bothered?
So I think, when you are a content creator, there are tiers of content creators. They are very,
Mm.
very bothered about the big TikTokies. They are very bothered about them. They absolutely will court them. But if you go down the tiers a bit into different levels of content creation, people like me, it's not that important to them. It's really not that important, but, don't make it so obvious. But that said, we are many. We create a very big group. This smaller section creates a very, very big group. It's ironic that they want to treat us all as one, but they don't treat us all as one in our numbers, because they're
Mm.
huge. There's hundreds and thousands of people like me who have these like really trusted audiences who are already engaged with beauty. They're interested. They follow my recommendations. They're really lovely. We do a lot of interaction. I do a lot of interaction with them, and I'll be damned if I'm doing it on behalf of brands when they can't be asked to interact with me.
Yeah. I mean, look, in your opinion, how damaging can a poorly executed event be for a brand's reputation, especially when attendees feel frustrated?
So let me put it on a emotional level. Imagine the young content creator who's been invited into London to an event with MAC, a brand she has revered and adored for absolutely years. She gets there, she feels like an alien, she feels upset, all her confidence disappears, all her social skills leave her because she's just so overwhelmed by it. Imagine that. Imagine that. That's the consequence that I mind about. I'm not bothered about anything else. That's what I really mind about, because that is an unpleasant experience at any level. Even if you were going into hospital, more people would talk to you than spoke to people at the MAC event.
Yeah, that's it's really
And it's
sad.
sad. It's
Yeah,
really sad to be
it's
that
really sad.
person, to have illusions shattered. They've spent money that they can possibly very little afford. We don't know. Getting to the event because it feels so important. What an absolute horrible letdown.
Yeah. Like you said, you don't know what that other person's going through, their financial situation. They could be using that time to be doing something worthwhile
It
or
doesn't make them
even
feel like the lowest person ever, that doesn't like upset them for days afterwards. I mean, and I am not talking a
yeah.
youngster who burst it left and burst into tears. And I don't blame her. I'll completely understand that feeling.
Mm. And on the flip side, let's give some credit where it's due.
Yes.
Can you share an
Right.
example of a brand event you attended recently that got it really right and what made it stand out?
So I'll talk about Suku, which it was from Linda Land at Muse. Suku is a beautiful Japanese makeup and skincare brand. It is absolutely lovely. And I really like the brand anyway. But their big draw was having a makeup
Mm.
masterclass with Val Garland, who was fantastic. But
Love
as you
Val.
came in, yeah, let me just walk you in. So you come in, and immediately there's an area with tea, coffee, croissant, little bit if you need, because it was early. It was like 9 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I don't
Mm.
get out of bed for that is an early start for me. And especially if you've got to travel, it is an early
Mm.
start. So there was breakfast ready and waiting. In the next room, there were tables and they had everything lined up that you would need, the products that were going to be discussed. There was a big screen at the front. So you could take your breakfast with you, or you could nip out and top up on coffee. It was a formal event that felt very informal. I learned things from it. It's not just that it was Val Garland, but there were just some super tips there that I actually came back and could give to my readers. I don't need to show off about where I'm going. I don't need
Mm.
to show off about that. I don't care, but I give me something of value to take away and present to followers. And that is a good launch, I think. People took my coat. Did they take my coat? Well, it doesn't. No, I just dumped my coat, and it didn't matter. It was lovely and informal. And the PRs were in the room, making sure that if somebody needed something, they were there. There were Suku makeup artists coming in, making sure you had the right products in front of you, giving you a hand if you needed it. Very attentive, but also very relaxed. But it was just lovely. Lovely.
Was it a drop-in or were there sessions?
There were sessions, and I mean, maybe there was only one session. So it wasn't this big mass. I'll tell you something I did go to, which was hit and miss. So I can tell you the goods and the bad things. I went to, it was called a gifting suite. Now, I hate the idea that these bloody products are gifts in the first place. No, they're not. I can't do my job without them. If you don't want me to have your products, don't give them to me. I've got millions, so it's fine. They're not presents. Stop it. So, it was up 3 flights of stairs that was not mentioned. So if you've got accessibility issues or any kind of physical health things, 3 steep flights of stairs is quite a challenge.
Yeah.
So that wasn't mentioned. So I got to the top a little bit breathless. And the PR that was there, she was junior PR, but she was, "Hi, my name's so-and-so." And I said, "I'm Jane." She goes, "Welcome, come and have a look around." That was fine. That was all lovely and perfect. The makeup artist in the room, though, dead eye stare, doesn't get out a lot, is all I can assume, because she was dealing with somebody, and instead of going, "Oh," because there was only 3 of us in the room, instead of going, "Oh, I'll be with you shortly. Do you want to have a look around? If you need help with colours, I will be with you as soon as." Just like I wasn't there. It's like my invisible cloak was back on. And in fact, not only was it that she didn't want to interact, she was steadfastly refusing to interact because she had one person in front of her and that's all she could do. She couldn't kind of come around. So I left without having spoken to her. The poor PR had too much to do. They should not have left her there on her own. She had too much to do. But you didn't get a glass of water, never mind a cup of coffee. And I don't know, 3 flights of stairs and no liquid at the top. That feels quite harsh. But in the end, I was going, "Look, I think I'll just take these 3 and that will be done. There's hundreds of products, but who needs them?" And she said, oh, yes, don't worry. I'll just put you some things in a bag." Just swept a load of stuff into the bag. I've not even opened it. I don't know what's in it.
Oh, wow.
And that felt like somebody who was trying really hard to make it good, but the circumstances and her supporting team did not support her. And it just couldn't happen.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
That's a real shame. You've been on many sides as a journalist, influencer, content creator, brand consultant. So you've seen different facets. If a PR could take away one golden rule from this chat or when planning their next big launch, what would it be?
Have enough people to support what you're trying to do, I would say, because of course you can organize stuff on your own and that is fine, but you actually need a lot of people there to make sure everybody feels included or at least part of it. So have enough people there, even if it's a small event. As I've just mentioned about 3 flights of stairs, she didn't have the support, so she couldn't execute it how she was clearly intending to do. Do a quick briefing before the event on, remember, say hello, meet their eye, tell them your name, they will tell you yours. That's how that can go. And that's what you've done is a really simple welcome. "Hi, I'm Louise." And I'll go, "Hi, I'm Jane." And she goes, "Just want to go through that." And then your job is done. You've done it and that's all it's taken. It's a handful of words. That's all you need to do. And I'd say that those are the basics. Don't be intimidating on the door. We all know that there's a list there, but don't spend forever looking for the name as though you're not actually on the list and you're about to be turned away. That's also really unpleasant too. You're standing there while they go through page after page after page. If you can't give people access quickly and warmly, because the list tickers don't feel it's any of their business to be pleasant. So, they're almost like door security. Do you list alphabetically or something? That's
Always.
a basic. Yeah, but
Always.
no, it doesn't happen. They go page after page after page after page. So I'll be going, it could be under B or it could be under C, smiling. But they're like, "Oh, you're probably under J." It's like, for sake.
Oh,
What
wow.
can it be?
No, I'm very much a face sheet kind of girl. Devil Wears Prada. Remember that scene where Emily and Andrea are last minute? She's like, "You're coming to the event." Emily is not well, but they both go. And she dumps down the 2 folders full of just people's names and their photograph.
Yeah.
something like that beforehand. Just, swat up, see who's coming, who's RSVP'd, just get an idea. Obviously, you're not going to be able to probably remember like 100 people, but at least do the work and then you're half ready for event day. That's my opinion anyway.
You can divide and conquer. Not everybody needs to have the same job at the event.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Okay, now it's time for my favourite part of the show, a little game. It's the beauty PR rapid fire round. You ready?
Yeah.
So, quick answers. The first thing that comes to your mind. So, here we go. One beauty product you always carry to an event.
A lip gloss of some sort.
Nice. Bit of hydration, a little bit of maybe shine there.
Yeah.
Dream venue for a beauty launch.
Oh, Claridge's never fails.
Oh, I love Claridge's.
I know,
it's the
right?
best. Yeah, it's special. It's special. Sweet or savoury at the snack table?
Bit of both.
Best swag bag item ever?
I actually can't. I don't know.
Really?
I
oh, come on. There must
can't.
be one that you remember that you thought, oh my goodness, this is amazing.
I will tell you something. It was the best thing, but a terrible thing happened to it. An awful fate befell it. Somebody gave us this. It was like a piece of fur. It's what I can say, but it was like a sheepskin or something like that, not fur. And it was supposed to be like a wrap. So I thought, this is disgusting. I'm never going to use this. So I cut it up and put it in the dog's bed.
Oh, but at least, the pooch was pampered a little bit more.
Somebody said, what did you think of the wrap? And I said, I thought it was awful. I put it in the dog's bed. I said, it's worth about 600 quid.
Oh, Jane.
I know, I didn't know. It just wasn't to my taste and I didn't know. And that's, So I can give you that instead of my favourite thing.
Well, my next question was worst swag bag item ever.
Oh, well, that kind of is both, isn't it? The worst
I know.
item. Oh, things with the brand's logo on it. I'm not going to wear your bloody T-shirt. Forget it. Nobody's going to wear that.
I never get that.
Or a mug with their name on it. Why? I've got mugs. Like, nobody needs a mug today. Not really.
If you could sneak one mini pamper treatment into every event, what would it be?
None. Literally none.
Not even a little quick file and polish? Nothing?
No. We're busy. We need to crack on.
In and out. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
And finally, one word to describe your perfect beauty event.
Friendly.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's simple, right?
Yeah, it is. It doesn't matter about luxuries and that kind. Don't care about any of that at all. It's just be friendly. Make us guests feel as though we are guests and that we are welcome.
Yeah, and included in the conversation.
Just be welcoming,
I love those answers.
Don't peel yourself off a wall at the bother of having to call somebody a lift. It was just like,
oh yeah. Oh no, I don't like that.
Honestly, no, I didn't like it.
But that's an element of disrespectfulness, right? Like it's disrespectful.
It's lazy. It's lazy, is what it is. It's like making an assumption about about your status within the room. It's like, yeah, I'm more important. I'll chill. Let me call you a lift if I must, but only because it's my job. It's like, oh God, get a different job, love.
Yeah, well, this is it. That person probably doesn't like her job very much. I can only put it down to that, right?
It could be a lot of unhappy people. Who knows what's behind everything? But yeah, it should have been better.
Yeah. Okay, well, PR pros, if you're listening, please take notes. Jane, thank you so much for joining me today. Again, I love a part two. And for being as refreshingly honest about the realities of beauty events. I think we all needed that reminder, to be honest, that hospitality and human connection are the real luxuries, not the actual products
Exactly.
on the
That is
tables,
so
right?
beautifully said. That is so
Yeah.
beautifully expressed. Those are the luxuries that we all love.
Where can people find you?
Oh, probably in bed. They can find me on Substack at British Beauty. I don't know my name on Substack. Is it British Beauty Blogger or Brit Beauty Blog?
Yes.
I can't remember.
British Beauty
Which?
Blogger. British Beauty
Oh,
Blogger.
yeah.
And
Or Brit
Instagram.
Beauty Blog on Instagram. Brit Beauty at Brit Beauty Blog.
I'll put it all in the show notes, shall I?
Thank you ever so much.
Thank you. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a PR friend who's ever had to wrestle with an event budget and a guest list that's 3 miles long. And don't forget, if you're ready to elevate your PR game, check out my e-course, PR Like a Boss. It's packed with actionable tips to help you get noticed and stand out. The link is in the show notes. Join me next time for more conversations with my female powerhouses. Until then, keep pushing boundaries and PRing like a boss.